What's the most fricked up thing a guest did in your house? A friend of mine kicked a hole in the wall because he lost a game of rock paper scissors. He was sober. We were all sober. He just wanted to prove that rock beats your wall paper. Buddy of mine got really drunk. We came home, put him to sleep on the couch. My wife yells for me to come in the TV room. He's pee on my subwoofer and then over to the fireplace. Put him to sleep again. While I'm cleaning his vinegar smelling pee of everything, he starts projectile vomiting all over the couch, throw rug, and himself. We roll up the rug and put it outside. Take the cushions off the couch and have him take his jeans off to clean them. While I'm putting in the washer, we hear the front door open. Dude is trying to drive his truck home wearing just his underwear. End up taking his keys and putting him back to bed. When I woke up in the morning, there was a frozen pizza partially cooked with bite marks taken out of it and a check for $150 with rug written in the memo line. Well, at least he tried to make amends. Had a couple stay over one night after one too many drinks. They slept on our pull-out couch, never heard a peep from them. Woke up the next morning and everything was put away as if no one had ever been there. A few weeks later, when I went to pull out the couch, I discovered one of them had peed the bed, made up the sheets and then closed the couch without saying anything. It smelled repulsive. They were never allowed to sleep over again. I had the exact same thing happen to me, except it was after I pulled out the couch and laid down that I was hit with the smell. Jesus, the smell. Ordered a pizza for himself and expected us to pay for it. Someone has done the same at my house. He ordered £50 worth of pizza and wanted us to pay for it. But it's okay, he got us some wedges. My mom and some of her family owned a place and let someone stay there overnight, alone. They cut the floorboards for firewood because it was too cold to grab firewood from outside. One of my college friends who is female got drunk at my apartment. For fear of sitting down on a man's toilet, she squatted on the seat and then proceeded to pee all over my shower curtain. So my parents had just bought a house. I was probably 12-13. My mom had her friends come over for a small housewarming party. Now there was a powder room that we never used. That way it was always clean. Anyhow, the night goes by and everyone leaves. My dad was cleaning up and went to the powder room and found a turd wrapped up in toilet paper hidden under the toilet. We had a small dog at the time, but we were certain that this poop was too big for our dog. One of the ladies that came that night had pooped outside the toilet. Took the time to wrap it up and hide it. Such a weird thing. I used to work at a nursing home. This little old lady took a turd, wrapped it in tissue, put it on a plate and then put it on a table in a room that we usually had staff meetings in. We all laughed about it for so long. Mine is a house guest. I got a call from a high school friend asking if I could house a friend of his for a week. The friend had just been relocated to my city and needed transition housing. I agreed. So this guy arrives. He seems nice enough. A few days in, the situation changes. The night before the incident, I made a big pot of stew for dinner the next day. I get home from work to find my apartment rearranged. He is in the middle of going through my closets when I walk in. He's rearranging items and throwing boxes out. I stop him. I'm in shock. I then go to heat up some stew. He ate the whole flipping pot. He didn't even leave me a bowl. I was dumbfounded. Later found out guy was a speed freak. Rearranging your whole house. Speed freak. Yep, that sounds about right. Had you just let him do his thing, your house would have been spotless op. My son's friend came to visit for a weekend and ended up staying for almost a month. When I told him it was time for him to go home, he left a turd under a shampoo bottle in my shower. I don't know if he actually crapped in his hand in the shower and then smooshed it under the shampoo bottle for me to find later, or if he fished it out of the toilet and stuck it there. Either way, weirdo. You got shampooed. This kid came to my buddy's house party and started jerking off his dog and got kicked out for it. Came back a year or so later and did it again, only to get kicked out once more. That is one consistent dude. We had a party at our house, and some plus ones showed up, so we didn't know everyone. We kept out all of our electronics, video game consoles, computers, etc. because we figured they would be fine. The party goes on and we sat down to play a FIFA tournament on the 360. The Xbox got lit up with one red ring and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I was drunk. I go over and look at the Xbox and see that someone stole the hard drive on my 360. I honestly wish they had stole the entire Xbox if they were going to do that. Lost all my saves for 5 years. Still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Someone stole my collection of Nintendo 64 video games I had. I had a lot. We know who did it and this kid literally left town. This was about 5 years ago. I still remember what you look like, butthole. My teenage stepbrother drank a shitting of our booze after we went to bed, and then projectile vomited all over the bathroom. He hit all the walls, shower, floor, sink, and mirror. Nothing hit the inside of the toilet. My husband, brother, his wife and I spent 5 hours cleaning that crap up. The next time he visited, he stole all of my husband's muscle relaxers. He had shoulder problems at the time, then denied taking them while completely effed up. That was the last time we let him in our house. Should have locked him in that bathroom until he cleaned it up himself. My sister had some friends over and I came home to them smoking weed. Whatever. What was unacceptable was that they had my elderly gerbil in a fish bowl and blowing their smoke in the bowl and covering the top to keep the smoke in, Some frick did this to my 9-week-old kitten. It was a friend of a friend. I go to my living room and this C is holding my kitten's head and slowly blowing thick bong smoke up my kitten's nose. One of my mom's friends odd in the bathroom when I was in elementary school. How rude. Vomited all over my bathroom and didn't clean it or even offer to clean it. A chick pooped in my friend's bathroom, on the floor. He got up, hungover, and had to get to work. She was nowhere to be seen. A friend used to host exchange students, mainly from Asian countries. One day he gets home from work and goes to have a shower and finds a giant turd in the shower. He's a bit confused, but cleans it up. It happens again a couple of days later and he realizes it's the new exchange student. Explains to the kid that he needs to take dumps in the toilet, not the shower. But yet again he finds a third crap in his shower. This time he's raging and tells the kid to sort himself out or he's gone. In total the kid took 4 dumps in the shower before my friend kicked him out. I got blackout drunk for the first time at the house of someone I'd met only a few hours earlier. Locked myself in the bathroom and vomited copiously while clutching myself and sobbing hysterically. I texted them the next day apologizing and offering to clean up any mess that was remaining or pay for any professional cleaning they might have had to do. They responded saying that they had no idea that even happened, because apparently one of the things I did while blackout drunk was scrub the bathroom down and clean up after myself. Apparently that bathroom hadn't been cleaned since they moved in and my drunk self could not handle vomiting into such a gross toilet. You'd think this would be a one-off, except I did this again a couple years later at my own apartment. My roommates were really confused to wake up to a sparkling bathroom, and I still don't understand it. I'd pay you to do this if we ever cross paths. You're a good drunk. Not technically a guest, but in college, my roommate had a coke-filled frick fest around our place with some random guy and they left all their used condoms, etc. everywhere. So rude. CS a heck of a drug. Someone peed on my dog, hid all my mail, and put out their cigarettes on my porch screen. Drank all my wine, refilled it with dyed water and put it back in my cabinet. That's when I decided to go from bottled wine to boxed wine. Cardboard oaks. When I was really young, for like my 7th birthday I received a new Game Boy and a few games for my birthday. I loved it so much. Like 5 days after I got it, it ended up missing. I was devastated and had no idea what happened to it. I suspected a babysitter had stolen it, but had no proof. That following Christmas, a kid on the bus had received a Game Boy and the exact games as a present from their cousin, who was my babysitter. Needless to say, I'm 100% sure my babysitter stole my Game Boy and games from a 7-year-old. Oh crap, I just remembered. I am the worst house guest. When I was like 8, I slept over a friend's house. He introduced me to Pokemon, and I started a new game and saved over his on his red version. We were having an open house on my mom's house. I was about 16 at this time. I left for the open house and when I came back about an hour later my PSP was gone. I'm certain the people looking at the house stole it when the realtor wasn't looking. I guess it was a house showing. A single couple with a kid I think. Not a open house, with lots of people coming and going. And I did get another PSP eventually that I still haven't played today. He took a bowl of SpaghettiOs to the guest bedroom in the new house that we had just moved into 4 months prior, where he proceeded to drop the entire bowl onto our off-white carpet. In his desperate attempt to fix the problem, he used the bath towels and a few linens to try and wipe it up. All this did was grind the sauce and pasta into the carpet. Some people might be really mad about that part of the story, but it gets better. Since he didn't know where the carpet cleaner was, or the steam vac, and since he didn't want to bother my wife or I with his screw up, he proceeded to use bleach to try and make the stain disappear. After he left our home, 2 days later, we found the mess and attempted to clean it up with the steam vac. It removed the majority of the red sauce, but once it dried, it became obvious that the carpets had been bleached. I know you're wondering, what butthole would do such a thing? That responsible person would be my father-in-law. That's what you get for fricking his daughter. Not entirely guest situation, but it was at one of best mate's 21st. After the dinner and drinks with the family, we hit a few bars and he had sorted a hotel room for a few close mates to keep drinking and crash out. One of his work friends also joined us. He seemed like a cool dude and that was the first time most of us met him. So it's about 5:30 AM and we are all sitting at this big butt dining table in the sitting area of the room, all kinda quiet. Drunk, stoned, trippin'. This guy walks past and goes to the toilet and everyone was kinda fricked, so we were sitting there really quiet, just sorta phasing out. The bathroom was right near the sitting area and we hear him go inside, lock the door, and immediately we hear him throwing up. Like it was loud and sounded like projectile. We all look at each other and still don't say anything. I make eye contact with my mate and I say that doesn't sound good. The guy then washes up and walks out and immediately, I crap you not, says, hey bro, I think someone threw up in there. It's a mess. I said, didn't you just throw up in there? And he denies all of it and didn't even try to clean it up or anything. The birthday boy was too trash to clean it and me and another mate ended up cleaning it so he won't get charged by the hotel. That guy was a dong. TLDR. Guy throws up in hotel room toilet. Everyone heard him. Dickwood denies it and I end up cleaning it up. You're a good person for not leaving that mess for housekeeping. Sucks that you had to because the guilty party wouldn't. But I assure you, even if they don't know it, those housekeepers appreciate it. I was having a sleepover when I was like 14 and one of the girls says she has stomachache and she goes to the bathroom. She comes out saying she's going home and her dad's here to pick her up. Someone goes to the bathroom a little later on and me and my 8 other friends hear a scream and run into the bathroom to find a huge crap in the bathtub. No idea why she took a crap in the tub and not use the toilet that was less than 30 centimeters away. Remembered another story. Was at a friend's 18th birthday party at his house and his ex turned up and stole his kettle. Took a crap in it. More crap, yes. And they returned it to the kitchen and boiled it and then left. The whole house smelled like boiled crap for weeks. Was at a friend's 18th birthday party at his house and his ex turned up and stole his kettle. Took a crap in it. More crap, yes. And they returned it to the kitchen and boiled it and then left. The whole house smelled like boiled crap for weeks. This is the most clever revenge crap I've ever heard of. My parents invited an old man and his wife over for dinner one night. My parents had 4 children including myself under the age of 15. The old man and his wife arrived to dinner at our house with a strange looking man we had never met before. Turns out the strange man was a pedophile who had just gotten out of jail and moved into the apartment next to the old man and his wife. The old man befriended the pedophile and thought it was a good idea to bring him to a house full of innocent children. Good thing my parents cut the dinner short. After watching funny YouTube videos via AirPlay to our Apple TV, said guest left the room to go to the bathroom. Shortly after, TV cuts to black dude wrecking this chick in the butt. He apparently couldn't wait to get home to rub one out. Conservative wife and young child present to enjoy. Mom let my brother's friends come over and party whenever they wanted. They basically trashed my mom's house over the course of 6 years. One of them punched a hole in the wall. I ended up fixing it. Another threw up in my bathroom sink and left it overnight. I ended up waking up to it at 6 AM before I had to leave for school. One of his friends dropped a hookah coal on our carpet and it left a bad burn mark. My mom was driving me home from a friend's house when I was 15. One of his friends was fricking his girlfriend in our driveway. There are more stories. I basically lived in a frat house from the time I was 14 to the time I was 20. As an introvert that wanted to be left alone, it sucked. Update. I can't say I never got involved in the activities. I was a shy person for a while because I went through an awkward, depressing phase after my parents got divorced. My mom basically went crazy after they got divorced and stopped caring about everything except God. She's crazy religious, or she claims to be. It's all she talks about. She claims she let people over because it kept them safe, which is understandable. The main problem I had with them was how disrespectful they were to the other people that actually lived there. If you're a guest at a house, even if you've been there a million times, there's no excuse to be rude. I wanted space of my own and I never had it because there were always people there. Your mother is something else. I was hanging out with my high school buddy, and we'd often hit this little mom and pop restaurant down the block from him. These guys sold the best buffalo chicken tenders, so obviously that's what we ordered. Pretty typical routine for us. We get back to his place, stuffed and exhausted from video game binging all night. So we decide, hey, it's 3 PM but frick it, we're down for the count. So he falls asleep, and I crash on some blankets and pillows and stuff on his floor. I wake up a few hours later feeling like absolute crap. I feel disgusting, sweaty, and my stomach is screaming assume the position. I get up, walk to the nearest bathroom, and lose my lunch into the porcelain throne. Mission success. I stumble back to my makeshift bedding like some kind of dilapidated animal. But things didn't go down the way I had thought. Hours later, I wake up to my buddy's mom and her sister talking. My buddy walks into the room, obviously feeling as crappy as I did, and says, dude, did you throw up earlier? To which I respond, yeah, sorry bro, but it's cool, I made it to the restroom. Well, yeah, you made it to the restroom, came his reply, but you threw up everywhere? The frick do you mean by everywhere? I asked incredulously. Apparently, I had stumbled up to the bathroom door, opened it and immediately began vomiting as soon as I stepped foot into the room. I turned 90 degrees, vomited all over his towel rack, and the towels hanging from it, and then all over the top, middle, and bottom of his toilet. There was vibrant orange, Tabasco tinged, chicken vomit all over this poor bathroom, and my fricked up fever-fueled mind said, yep, you totally hit the freaking mark, man. Perfect execution. Back to sleep. His aunt ended up cleaning it up before I had woken up. Poor lady. TLDR. Got food poisoning. Subconsciously tried to paint an entire room. My grandmother used my towel to clean the toilet after she shat in it. Yes, she has dementia and Alzheimer's. It's sad, really. This wasn't at my house, but we were having an estate sale for someone in my family, and a dude walked in, grabbed a pair of nail clippers with a 10-cent sticker on them, clipped his nails, leaving the clippings on the floor, then left. He couldn't even be bothered to pay $0.10 for the frickin' nail clippers. My mom has this thing about the thermostat. It has to be set to 77-79 because that is like the perfect temperature range no matter the season. I live in an area where the winter is like never that cold and summer is hot as heck, so this temp works to save money and keep the house at a reasonable temperature. Well, there was this one time when my mother had a friend and his wife over. This wife was kinda crazy, and she did not like the temperature that the house was set to, so she went to the thermostat and adjusted it to her liking. When my mom realized how cold it was, she went and readjusted the temperature. A little while later it was cold again. My mom confronted her friend and told him that they could not control the temperature like this. It was not their house. Well, a little while later the temperature was cold again. This time my mother put a password on the thermostat to lock the crazy wife lady out. When crazy wife lady realized this, she confronted my mother and demanded that she be given the password. When my mother refused to give it to her, crazy wife lady was livid. Side note, crazy wife lady ended up hiring a hitman to kill my mom's friend. The plan did not work and crazy wife lady is in prison, but my mom's friend and the crazy wife lady did have a kid together. Edit, I don't really know details on the hitman part. Sorry, I wish I did : Holy heck, that escalated quickly. I lived in the barracks a while back. My brand new team leader got the master key from CQ while me and my buddies went out to watch a movie. He let himself into my room and proceeded to use all my Skype money to call his sister drunk. We were overseas. When me and my roommate got back to our room, we see our door open and my team leader's head glowing from the laptop screen. Needless to say, we were pee and kicked him out. Sprayed fly spray up my sleeping, naked, bunghole. Gonna need a bit of context on this one. I'm fairly sure a friend used my celeb I had left in the bathroom. She used my shower and that's fine, but halfway through I remember it was in the drawer. So soon as she opened the door, I told her I had to pee. I opened the drawer to move it to my bedroom and it was really warm. I washed it because it was expensive, but I can't bear to use it again. It has nothing to do with her CM possibly being on it. Just more awkward, I suppose. It wasn't really a big deal, and the warmth seemed more like it had been ran under hot water. I do think she used it but cleaned it after. Not too worried about it though. Had a friend and his girlfriend stay at my apartment with me and my girlfriend. We all got pretty drunk that night and passed out. Woke up in the morning to our apartment trashed and a lot of our things stolen. The most fricked up part is this said friend used to be my best friend. Never apologize. D to us, but he did return the stuff he stole because we told him we were going to press charges. Frick that. I hate those types of people. I had a friend ruin our relationship because he thought it was okay to steal some swim shorts. Swim shorts. Lit my couch on fire. Frick you, couch. Not my house but a friend's. I was there for a party. A girl there got drunk, went in the bathroom, threw up and apparently threw up all over the rug, so she snuck the rug out of the bathroom and took it with her. IDK, that is kind of a classy move. Had a co-worker spend the night. He was on hard times and it was freezing out. He accidentally let my wife see him naked. Her response: "My husband's thumb is bigger." Then she tossed him a towel. I admire your wife's wit. My nephew got sick and my then sister-in-law cleaned it up with my brand new white towels. She then put the towels with crap vomit in the hamper without telling me. I had to throw them away. A friend of ours was jobless for the summer, so we offered a friendly hand and let him stay on our couch for a couple weeks. I was letting him use my computer during the day for job hunting, but mostly for gaming. One night, after about a week of not using my desktop PC, I turned my computer on to find that he had replaced my desktop background with a rotating circulation of hentai scenes. Like, a minute did not go by without a new pink-haired 15-year-old being penetrated by a Dragon Ball Z character. Seriously, who does that? One of my friends stayed over one night and went to the toilet. When he came out, my mum went in and there was a lump of crap on the wall a few inches underneath the tissue roll. He then denied it and my mum made him clean it. He then proceeded to explain to her that he knew what a corn cob was later on that day. That was when we started to part ways. Broke off my shower head and acted as if nothing happened. I didn't even know it was broken until nightfall when I had to take a shower. She also used all my ranch dressing and put the empty bottle back in the fridge. That B. Never put the empty bottle back in the fridge. It's just spiteful. My sophomore year of college, my roommate was having a birthday party, Christmas party. It was late December, and there were about 30 people at the party. We're all drinking and having a good time when one of my friends offers me a shot and we proceed to go outside to have a cigarette. We start talking about all the crap we pulled that semester and what we were doing for winter break, when I suddenly get a call from my girlfriend at the time and go inside to talk to her in the quietness of my room. I was probably on the phone for about 5, maybe 10 minutes when I start to hear screaming and crying coming from outside my room door. I told my GF I would call her back and go outside to see what was going on. Apparently in those 10 minutes I was talking to my GF, the friend I had just been smoking a cigarette with had located my roommates, whose birthday it was, gun safe, and ended up taking his life in my roommate's bathroom. I'll never forget the horror on all of my friends' faces as the cops and ambulances pulled up to the house to retrieve the body. Obviously I was very upset and confused as to why this had happened, and was deeply saddened by my friend's death. As a result of this, however, I had to leave the university that I had just transferred to, which included leaving my girlfriend and the life I had just worked so hard to develop for myself there because my parents demanded I move back to my hometown. I began to resent my friend for what he had done. as it really derailed my life for the next 6 months and caused a lot of tension and guilt between the roommates, who I have since grown distant from. I know that may sound selfish of me, but at that moment in time I thought that that was the most selfish move someone could have pulled, especially towards their friends and family. Years have passed since then and I ended up transferring back to the university and graduated this past December. My girlfriend and I broke up right before I transferred back, which I honestly think is one of the best things to ever happen to me. I have learned to forgive my friend and do not hold any bitterness or resentment towards him, and have nothing but love for him. I only wish he wouldn't have gotten help earlier because we had a very large friend group which would have been able to support him and show him how much he was truly loved. We still speak fondly of him whenever his memory is brought up, and I'm glad I was able to spend his last moments with him. I hope he rests in peace. A French couch surfer ate all our food and crapped herself during her brief stay. A diamond Pepe only appears once in ever 20 million memes. This is the rarest Pepe, like in 5 seconds for good luck. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video.